Good day, sir. I am Midshipman Justin de Binagracia, and this is the topic for LO2.5 Division of Substance. Substance, the physical matter, materials of the which an organ or body consists, to chemistry, a material matter of the which has definite chemical composition and distinct properties. Type of substance. Pure substance, the substances that are free from an kind of mixtures and contain only one kind of particle are pure substances. Example of pure substances include iron, aluminum, silver, and gold. Mixtures. Substances that have two or more different particles are mixtures. What are the five examples of substance? The best example of pure substance are pure elements, molecules, and compounds. Number one, hydrogen gas, cold metal, sugar or sucrose, baking soda or sodium bicarbonate, ammonia, diamond, copper wire. Its silicon chips, IBC code. Cards of chemicals in bulk is covered by regulation in SOLAS. Chapter 7, Cards of Dangerous Goods and Marple Annex 2, Regulation from the Control of Pollution by Noxious Liquid Substance in bulk. Both conversations require chemical tankers built after July 1, 1986 to comply with the International Code for the Construction and Equipment of Ships Carrying Dangerous Chemicals in Bulk IBC Code. The IBC Code provides an international standard for the safe carriage in bulk by sea of dangerous chemicals and noxious liquid substance listed in Chapter 17 of the Code. To minimize the risk to ships, their crew, and environment, the Code prescribes the design and construction standards of ships and the equipment they should carry with due regard to nature of the products involved. In December 1985, by Resolution MEPC 1922, the code was extended to cover marine pollution aspects and applies to ships built after July 1, 1986. In October 2004, IMO adopted revised MARPOL Annex 2 regulation from the control of pollution by noxious liquids substance in bulk. This incorporates a categorization system for noxious and liquid substance, and it entered into force on January 1, 2007. Consequential amendments to the International Bulk Chemical Code IBC Code were also adopted in October 2004, reflecting the change to MARPOL Annex 2. The amendments incorporate revision to the categories of certain products relating to their properties as potential marine pollutants, as well as revisions to ship types and carriage requirements following their evaluation of hazardous substance working group. Ships subject to the code should be designed to one of the following standards. Number 1. A Type 1 ship is chemical tanker intended to transport Chapter 17 products with very severe environmental and safety hazards, which require maximum preventive measures to preclude an escape of such cargo. Number 2. A Type 2 ship is a chemical tanker intended to transport Chapter 17 products with appreciably severe environmental and safety hazards, which require significant preventive measures to preclude an escape of such cargo. Number 3. A Type 3 ship is a chemical tanker intended to transport Chapter 17 products with sufficiently severe environmental and safety hazards, which require a moderate degree of containment to increase survival capability in a damaged condition. Those a type 1 ship is chemical tanker intended for the transportation of products considers to present the greatest overall hazards, and type 2 and type 3 for products of progressively lesser hazards. Accordingly, a Type 1 ship should survive the Moser-based standard of damage, and its cargo tanks should be located at the maximum prescribed distance inboard from the shell plating. Code of the Construction Equipment of Ships Carrying Dangerous Chemicals in Bulk, or BCH Code. Under Regulation 11 of Annex 2 to MARPOL 7378, chemical tankers construct before July 1, 1986 must comply with the requirement of the code for the construction and equipment of ships carrying dangerous chemicals in bulk, or BCH code, the predecessor of the IBC code. The BCH code remains as a recommendation under 1974 SOLAS Convention. The International Maritime Dangerous Goods IMDG Code. The International Convention for the Safety of Flight at Sea 1974 SOLAS as amended deals with various aspects of maritime safety and contains in Chapter 7 the mandatory prevention governing the carriage of dangerous goods in package form. The carriage of dangerous goods in package form shall comply with the relevant provision of the International Maritime Dangerous Goods, or IMDG Code, which is considered an extension to the provision of SOLAS Chapter 7. Furthermore, the International Convention for the Prevention of Pollution from Ships 1973, as modified by the Protocol of 1978 relating thereto, MARPOL, which contains in its Annex 3 mandatory provision for the prevention of pollution by harmful substance carried by sea in the package form, prohibits the carriage of harmful substance in ship except in accordance with the provision of MARPOL Annex 3, which are also extended in the IMDG Code. The IMDG Code was developed as an international code for the maritime transport of dangerous goods in package form in order to enhance and harmonize the safety carriage of dangerous goods and to prevent pollution to environment. The code sets out in detail the requirement applicable to each individual substance, materials, or article, covering matters such as packaging, container traffic, and storage, which particular reference to the segregation of incompatible substance. The code was initially adopted in 1965 as a recommendatory instrument. It was 2002 that General Assembly at its 17th session adopted Resolution A71617, the IMDG Code, and decides to give it a mandatory status under the umbrella of SOLAS Convention from January 1, 2004. However, some parts of the code remain recommendatory. Paragraph 1.1.18, notification of infringements. Paragraphs 1.3.1.4 to 1.3.1.7 training. Chapter 1.4, security provision except 1.4.1.1, which is mandatory. Section 2.2.0 of Chapter 2.1, Class 1 Explosives Introductory Notes. Section 2.3.3 of Chapter 2.3, Determination of Plus Point. Columns 15 and 17 of the dangerous goods placed in Chapter 3.2. The segregation flow chart and example in the annex to Chapter 7.2. Section 5.4 4.5 of Chapter 5.4 Multimodal Dangerous Goods Form, insofar as the layout of the form is concerned. Chapter 7.8 Special Requirements in the event of incident and fire precaution involving dangerous goods. Section 7.9.3 Contact information for the main designated national competent authorities. Appendix B. Since its introduction in 1965, the IMDG code has undergone many changes but in appearance and content to keep pace with the ever-changing need of industry. Amendments which do not affect the principles upon which the code is based may be adopted by the Maritime Safety Committee alone. Thus, IMO can respond to transport development in reasonable time. Amendments to the IMDG code are made E&T group. On a 2-year cycles, these are mainly originate from two source proposals submits directly to IMO by member governments and amendments required to take account of change to the United Nations recommendation on the transport of dangerous goods, which is the basic requirement for all transport modes. The IBC code, BCH code, and IMDG code are all international codes that pertain to the safe transportation of dangerous goods and chemicals, including provisions for maritime pollution prevention. However, they serve different purposes and have different application. IBC code, International Code for the Construction and Equipment of Ships Carrying Dangerous Chemicals in Bulk. Number 1. Purpose. The IBC code is primarily focused on the construction and equipment of chemical tanker used for the bulk transportation of dangerous chemicals. It provides designs and safety standards for the vessel. Applicability. The IBC code is applicable to chemical tankers carrying dangerous chemicals in bulk. It classifies chemicals into categories Type 1, Type 2, and Type 3 based on the properties which determines the type of chemical tanker required for sea transport. Number 3. Marine pollution. The IBC code includes specific requirements for preventing marine pollution from chemical tankers. It addresses issues related to cargo containment, discharge restrictions, tank washing procedures, and safety measures to prevent chemical spills and environmental contamination. BCH Code. Code for the construction and equipment of ships carrying dangerous chemicals in bulk. Purpose. Number 1. The BCH code is an order code that primarily address the construction and equipment of chemical tanker and provide operational guidance for the safe carriage for dangerous chemicals. Number 2. Applicability. Like the IBC code, the BCH code is applicable to chemical tankers. However, its use has been largely superseded by IBC code, which is more up-to-date and comprehensive. Marine pollution. The BCH code, while it does address construction and equipment related to cargo containment, ventilation, and safety measures, also includes operational guidelines that indirectly contribute to the prevention of marine pollution. However, its focus is not as strong on this aspect as the IBC code. IMDG code, International Maritime Dangerous Goods Code. Purpose. The IMDG code is different from the IBC and BCH code in that it is not vessel specific. Instead, it is a global code that provides guidance from the safe transporting of dangerous goods by sea. It applies to all types of vessels, not just chemical tankers. Number 2. Applicability. The IMDG code is applicable to all ships carrying dangerous goods, includes container ship, general cargo vessels, and chemical tankers. It covers a wide range of dangerous goods, not limited to chemicals. Number 3, marine pollution. The IMDG code include provision for the safe handling, storage, and carrying of dangerous goods to prevent spills and pollutions. It provides detailed packaging, labeling, and placarding requirement for dangerous goods, as well as emergency response and incident reporting procedures in the event of an incident. In summary, the IBC code and BCH code especially address the construction equipment and safety standard for chemical tanker and their role in preventing marine pollution due to transport of dangerous chemicals. The IMDG code, on the other hand, provides a broader set of guidelines for the safe transportation of dangerous goods by sea, including dangerous chemicals of various types of vessels. It's also emphasized the importance of preventing marine pollution during the transport of dangerous goods. And that's all, sir. Thank you.